Namaste, beloveds. This is Mother with Wisdom, aka Valerie Ames Tiamaat. And I was doing a meditation that has taken me all day to kind of get through and do, and just to go through all this energy that is arriving. And today we got our first sprinkling of snow. So if you're wondering, this is snow. The first snow. I mean, the purity of it, the innocence of it, the reconnecting with the sacred season of winter, and understanding what the earth is getting ready to do um, globally, and we are going, how we are acting and reacting right now, and what we are attracting, what we are manifesting, how we are coming together as a collective, how we are, and this was the main focus of this, is detoxing. Now that this system has been recognized for what it is, a system, a wicked system, I wouldn't be wrong in calling it a satanic system, because it is based upon that ego principle, it is based upon the narcissistic satanic principle of doubt, of doubting what is law, trying to put some okie doke up in there some kind of way, trying to force a relationship with truth that should not even be connected with, because truth is what it is. Truth is perceptional. Truth is how the individual interprets it from their own understanding. And when you understand that, that the truth is within you, and that your truth is unique to you, that's the key. Your truth is unique to you. You are that snowflake. You are unique. You are diverse celestial starseed being. You're like that glass that's made from the sand on the beach. One of a kind. You may look similar, but you're one of a kind. And you're designed to be that way. And you're designed to know yourself in that way, and to have a relationship with yourself in that way. And once you establish that relationship, to establish that broader and broader, to explore and to expand that. And that's the relationship you want with yourself. That is the reason for us existing. That is the reason the light separated itself from the darkness, was to explore itself fully. And we have arrived at this Jubilee point where, if we choose to have this kind of relationship with ourselves, then that means we choose to have this kind of relationship with others, We choose to have this kind of relationship with the earth itself. And it's going to align you and attract you and start manifesting everything that you, and I'm going to stop using the word want. I'm going to start using the word need. Because want is an illusion. Want is a perception. And sometimes you can look at the surface of something and think that's what you want. But underneath it all, that's not what you want. It's not what you like. Just because the outside of the cake is chocolate doesn't mean the inside of the cake is chocolate. So we really have to get to know ourselves, what we like, and what we need to satisfy ourselves, to satisfy our likes, to satisfy making ourselves happy, content, at peace. And so I did a reading um, with the Esther Hicks deck, and it was so deep that I decided to share the cards with you. And I know what came up for me, and some of it I'll share if it comes up to be shared, and whatever else comes up comes up. So again, this is from the Going Into the Vortex deck by Esther and Jerry Hicks, and there was a total of 15 cards. Um, and this card doesn't have these cards don't have a book. What's written on them is just written on them. And let's just get into it now. And I'm going to, this was actually the last card, but I've been told to start with it. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm hoping you can see it well enough. Here we go. And this is number 19, which is a 10. There are a total of 4 eyes on here, 4 lips. So there are 4 different, wow, there are 4 eyes. Okay, 4 perspectives total. 1 hand, 2 bodies, 2 arms, 3 necks. Interesting. And I see echo. I see sound. I see harmony. I'm getting dissonance. I'm getting harmony. I'm getting waves. I'm getting a tuning. I'm also getting growth and integration of mind, body, and spirit. Okay. My relationships will change when my vibration changes. You are living in the time when fewer people will attempt the impossible task of pushing the unwanted far enough away that they will be left with only that which is wanted. So, beloveds, that was so powerful to me. Like I said, this was the last card, but it has to be read first. So it is setting the tone for this reading. And as you can see, the word want keeps coming up. So that is a significator word, want. What is our relationship to want? What is the human being's relationship to want? What is the world's relationship to want? What is your child or your family's relationship with want? The word want. What is the government's relationship with the word want? Do they know what we want? See, this word want is being given to us for a divine reason. there is a wisdom, there is a lesson in the word want that we need to be aware of. And again, with what I'm receiving is that I began this by saying how diverse we are. So the identifying what want is will be a diverse undertaking, and the answer will be diverse. But in that diversity will also be the answer for our own individuality, for our own divine essence, and identifying more and more what we do need. And if we start attracting and putting in place what we need, being satisfied, then we can work on what we want. First, we concentrate on what we need. And we have to start pushing the unwanted far enough. See, I have a problem with that with myself because of my own little abandonment issues and things of letting something go and totally, just saying, okay, that's, I'm done with that. I will still try to be friends. I'll still try to hold on. I'll still try to allow the connection and maybe I'm helping them get rid of some stuff or maybe whatever the excuses are. I have been That's what I've been doing. And that's what these cards are about today for me. And one of the things that my body is doing right now is it is just dumping, it is releasing, it is detoxing on such a level that it is truly divine. In the way that it is, my body, my physical body, my is detoxing, along with my mental and my emotional body is detoxing. And this is literally and figuratively and metaphorically all in alignment. And that's what I wanted. And to feel your body going through what it was going through and allowing it to go through what it needed to go through and allowing it to get to when it was ready and it would purge itself. That was so beneficial for me. I did not take things to purge. I did not take anything other than my little supplementals to create a detox or cleansing. There's nothing extraordinary that I've been doing. And right now, my digestive system has just been talking to me lately. And when I say talking to me, I mean it's been noisy, it's been loud, it's been disgruntled, it has just been like sludge, just it's just been ridiculous. And I'm just letting it do what it needs to do. I'm going with the flow in it because it's healing. And it's just, just what I need at this time. The body knows what it needs subconsciously. And when you allow yourself with prayer and with meditations and with reading different and with focusing your mind on the things that you need to focus on, you are getting what you want. See, I haven't been focusing on drama and bullshit and so much of the news like I used to in the way that I used to. Now I observe it from a different perspective. Now I interact with it from a different perspective. And this detoxing is getting rid of all that way that I used to. And my body is adapting because it knows it has to. And so it's all a very deep process, beloveds. And I know that if I am going through it, then many of you are going through it as well. And all I can say is drink your herbal teas that deal with digestion and your mucus intake and your alkaline and everything, because your body is going to be really going through some changes. And beloveds, I'm about to get real. And a lot of people can't handle realness because they've been so conditioned and they won't understand it, I believe. But I'm about to get real. I'm about to get real old school with you right now. Okay? And this is coming from my female ancestors as far as the biological body goes. And about the organs. This is to do with the canopic jars again. And you need to understand how your ancestors, when they got to America, how they needed to, because they were on a different land, clean out their bodies. They douched, hot water bottles, vinegar, water, a little baking soda. They took enemas. They used that same bladder, douche bag, whatever you want to call it, that big red bag that hung in the bathroom. They used that to make enemas as well, because they knew that cleaning out your colon it's literally getting shit out of you, getting the negative out of you, getting waste out of you. What your body does not want. See, we're talking about want right now. We're talking about what your body does not want. And you need to focus on that and getting out of you what does not serve you anymore. Because a lot of things have to be brought into alignment. And it may seem that they're disjointed and coming from left, right, whatever. But again, beloveds, it's this way because we are so diverse. Okay? And just keep sharing your message. Those that need it will get it. Those that identify with the way that you speak it, the way that you tell it, the way that you envision it, they will get it because they are part of your collective. They'll be attracted to it. They're seeking that. And you're putting it out there because you feel the need for it. So understand, it is a give and take. It is receiving and giving. Again, let's get back to this card. Okay, I'm being told the echoing again is the heart chamber, and the heart chamber the four chambers of the heart, and to understand the flow and the cleaning that takes place of the oxygen in the blood and the colors and so forth and so on. Look at the colors, Valerie. Okay. I see some deep burgundies, and it's womb related. I'm seeing womb related. So echo in the womb, the sonograph. It is time when more people will come to the realization that what they have been seeking is not a change in the behaviors of others or in the world outside of them, over which they have no control. So we have no control over changing the behaviors of others. That is not our job. We are not here to change the behaviors of others. That means we have no right judging the actions of others. Because it's up to them. It's their perception of who they are. It's their will that determines that. Even our children. And we have to relate that to ourselves when we were children with our parents. Love is unconditional. It allows and it gives all kinds of permissions, and it takes away boundaries when you allow it. Those who are staying in abusive relationships, I was in a group, and I'll get back in it later, but I had to step out for it because during holiday time, a lot of emotions regarding domestic abuse and sexual assault and just violence in different ways that deal with family and real, how can I say, heart-centered, core-centered issues is happening. And there were so many women who were realizing and being able to use a word to identify what was going on in their relationship. That word was narcissist. That one word being broken down in a way where it empowered women who didn't know why they stayed, didn't know why they put up with it, stayed there to understand it, not for him, but for her heart and her mind and her peace and her understanding of love. That one word has changed the vibration, baby. Just the understanding of that one word. Not only in men, but in women too. And men and women, when you realize we're all born narcissists, you don't believe me? Look at an infant. Look at a baby. All that baby think about is itself. Some of us are catered to. We don't stop being narcissists because we've been catered to that way. Your parents Every time you want something, they give it for you. They cook for you, they clean for you, they shop for you, they give you money, they buy your clothes, they do this, they do that, they. And you become narcissistic. That's what they do. That's what the world is supposed to do. The world is supposed to cater to you, give you what you want. The world is supposed to take care of you. What do you mean, no? What do you mean I can't? What do you mean I raped you? What do you mean I touched you and you didn't like it? I can do what I want. I'm a narcissist. I've been doing what I want since I was a child. How dare you tell me all of a sudden that this has to change? And it has to change, why? Because what I want is hurting other people. And other people aren't getting what they want. So, I don't care. I'm a narcissist. All I care about is myself. And those who are going to kiss my ass and tell me yes. Anybody else? It is the time when more people will come to the realization that what they have been seeking is not a change in the behaviors of others or in the world outside of them, over which they have no control, but instead an understanding of their own vibrational relationship with Source, over which they have complete control. So, I can't control what's outside of me. I can't control other people. I shouldn't be trying to bend their wills and their minds and taking advantage of them and doing all of this and doing all of that, the things that narcissists do. Plotting and scheming so that they can get their way, so that they win, so that they're victorious. So their wants and their perception of their needs is met, regardless of how it's achieved, regardless of who has to suffer. That's part of them getting what they want. How do they say it? There's casualties in war. How can you beat a mama? How can you beat the mother of your child? How can you beat your children? They're not human beings to you. They're part of an ideology that's outside of you. That's part of this matrix system that tells and conditions that if you want to control something, you have to do it by force. You have to do it by lying, by stealing, by killing, by cheating. That is the only way. And then you have to lie, cheat, kill, and steal to keep it. And a lot of times you're going to have to lie, kill, cheat with your own loved ones. So my best advice to you is don't fall in love. Play with people's emotions. Manipulate them. Get them to do what you want. But love is for fools. Love is for suckers. Love is for tricks. Love is for hoes. What do you really want? Stuff. You want your needs met. You want stuff. Stuff make you feel better. That's what everybody says. We want more stuff. We need more stuff. Y'all need to invent some more shit to make some more stuff now. What's up? I gotta work 60 more hours so I can afford to get some more stuff? Okay, just let me get some more stuff and I'll work them 60 hours. I ain't gotta spend time with my family. I ain't gotta spend time with my children. They understand. I'm getting them stuff. Okay, I've spent 31 minutes and 47 seconds on this card. Your own vibrational relationship with Source, beloveds. If you call that Source your highest self, Great Spirit, Mama, whatever you call it, whoever you call it, connect with it, form a relationship with it. Let it speak to you. Let it help you grow up. Let it help you ask it what its truth is. Higher self, what is your truth? Higher self, show me what I need to see. Higher self, if that hurts too bad and I can't deal with that, can you please take it away? Can you please cut the cord to this? I need to just put this down right here and right now because it's a burden. And I'm not supposed to be carrying burdens. I got enough to do within myself. Go within and start purifying. Start cleaning house within yourself. Start eliminating your old shit. And as you grow, understand that there is debris that is left behind that you will need to do like a special cleanse, a special scan, a special, just like when you had a virus and you have to run a program, it has to shut your computer all the way down and reboot it, restart it. That's what this cleansing time is for you. It's restarting, it's rebooting, it's getting all the viruses and the bugs and the fixes and all of those little residue things out of you. So give yourself permission. And understand, beloveds, that there's no rush with anything. We are eternal beings. And what is going to be is going to be. And if you find yourself in flux or things feel too dense for you, step back. allow your focus to go to something else. There's always something else. And as you're doing something else, allow your guides and your guardians to work on whatever else is that needs it, and to give you clarity in what you need clarity with. But just keep loving yourself throughout the whole process. And keep reminding yourself of you're not alone. That this is a loving experience. That it is not punishment. Although our truth says it hurts, it hurts, it hurts. That is the contrast that is necessary. Because we are still so hard-headed. And so when we get past the point where we can just grow without needing the contrast, because we no longer have that dual mind, we no longer doubt who we are. We can totally tune in and identify who we are. Then you no longer doubt. You can flow and move along freely. There's no boundaries. There's nothing second guessing you. There's nothing making you feel less than or anything of that nature, because of the relationship you have established with yourself and with Source. And you've become one with that. So when you become one with that, you become one with everything. And you understand that you're part of everything. And everything is a part of you. And that everything changes. Everything grows. Everything evolves. Some things become extinct. Some behaviors will become extinct. Some laws will become extinct. Some ways will become extinct. And you have to know yourself enough so that you can adapt. It's not so much about survival anymore. It's about living and progressing and evolving. Okay, let's get to the next card. The next card we had before. A lot of these we had before. This is number 14. It is babies are thinking and attracting before they are speaking. So to me, Mama is just reinforcing, even though you are only months old in your physical body, you are a very old and wise creator, focused in that baby's body. Now, I want you to hear what was given to you about the narcissist. And it says, you are a very old and wise creator, focused in that baby's body, and you come with powerful intentions. So when that baby needs to be fed, what does it do? Does it just say, okay, I'll wait until she's ready to feed me or she remembers? Or that baby lets you know immediately. That baby lets you know when it's not full. It lets you know when it needs to burp. It lets you know when it needs changing. It lets you know when it just wants to be held. It lets you know when it's just fussy. That is how it communicates. That is how that little narcissistic soul communicates. Okay? But we can accept that behavior coming from a baby. We don't tell, now you know you need to quit, baby. Why is you crying? You know I got this food. Why is you crying? You know I'm going to change you. No, baby, you cannot get what you want. No, no, no. We talking about infants. We're not talking about toddlers. Okay? A toddler is just a gangster. That's a little OG right there. You tell him no, he like, that's how we are. That's the stage we are now, in being told no, or being felt rejected, or someone's not listening to us, or someone's not hearing us, or someone's not seeing us. We immediately go into this defense mode, and we take it personal, as though it is really that they're not wanting to engage is because you are less than, or because they are better, or all of that, beloveds, is in your mind. You don't know what's on that person's mind. That's you in your mind, in your right now. And you're projecting what you want, what you're thinking onto them, they're thinking that too. They're wanting that too. Or they're feeling that too. And if you feel like you are nothing and that you have to prove something to somebody when that person is not hearing you or seeing you or feeling you, it heightens your anxiety. And that's what you start focusing on. That's what you start having your relationship with. That's what you start becoming obsessed with. That's what starts taking up all of your time and all of your space and all of your energy. Meaning you've just given away all your power. That everything right now is more about what to give them what they want, to serve them, to make them happy, to calm the tension down. You think it's about them, that it'll change their behavior towards you because you're taking it personal. See that little baby? You see that star? You cannot change them. You have to change you. How you feel about it. How you think about it. If it's personal to you, then change how you want to deal with it. Can't change how the other person wants to deal with it. That's their job. That's up to them. We have to learn a new way to be, a new way to see things. And we have to know that it all starts with ourselves. And this is going to take us a lot of self-discipline and self-mastery to do it, because it's a constant inner battle, an inner reminding of yourself, because you're so used to behaving one way and seeing things in one way. And now you have to understand that, wow, it's really diversified out here, and I need to adapt. I need to see that there are many ways, not just my way. And that just because another's is the polar opposite of mine doesn't make it wrong, doesn't make it right. It's just their way, it's their truth. And I can either adjust the way I look at it or leave it alone. But I don't have to judge myself based upon their ideology. That's theirs. their stuff. I don't have to fit your stuff. I don't have to fit inside your box. I don't try to put you inside of mine. I have no boxes. I'm getting rid of all my boxes. People often assume, that word assume, people often assume makes an ass out of you and me. People often assume that because a child is not yet offering words, the child could not be the creator of its own experience. But it is our promise to you that no one else is creating your experience. So be mindful of your thoughts, beloveds. And just because you aren't speaking them verbally, you are maybe enacting them subconsciously or unconsciously. And you're still just as powerful, if not more so, that way. So again, be very mindful of your thoughts and your thinking. And if you have to redirect yourself 50 million times a day, put that work in, because it's gonna benefit you. You're investing in you. Put the work in. You're worthy of it. And you're worth what you're going to attract. And it's not just about attracting something. What you're attracting, the most beneficial thing that you're attracting is your highest self, is a relationship with your highest self. And that is wealth beyond what we can even, our little brains can even compute right now. And we need to remember that and be gentle with ourselves. Okay. Let's see. Children emanate vibrations which are the reason for what they attract, even from their time of birth. We are children of Source. We attract what we want, even from the time of birth. So we're attracting racism. We're attracting wars. We're attracting technology taking over jobs. We're attracting what we've been programmed for. World wars, apocalyptic views, totalitarian empires. We see beings fighting and killing each other without cease. There is an end to it when you start seeing one. When you believe that human beings, that beings, period, animals and plants and elementals and and humans and just every beings, period, can get along peacefully, that's when it'll start happening. That's what you need to set your little narcissistic heart and mind to. I call it paradise. Paradise is peaceful. And I see it peaceful because beings know the worth of themselves and they know the value of unconditional love. And that is the law that they live by. Okay, that's that card. The next card is number 30. Our varied behavior adds to the planet's well-being. I know it's bright. You can't see it. Here we go. Those look like mosaics up there in that brain. Okay. Our varied behavior adds to the planet's well-being. When you remember that nothing can come into your experience without your vibrational invitation of it, and when you remember that the varied behaviors of others adds to the balance and well-being of your planet, even if they offer behavior that you do not approve of, and that you do not have to participate in the unwanted behavior, and will not, unless you give your attention to it. You become more willing to allow others to live as they choose. So, when we give attention to the drama that somebody wants us to participate in, we are more willing to let that person have what they want than we are willing to love, protect, and care for ourselves. Then we are to say, no, you can't do that to me. No, you can't treat me that way. Or no, because we're not going to do that because that's going to hurt others in the long run. It may benefit us right now, but it's going to kill the planet. It's going to cause extinction. Trees are going to die. We need the trees for oxygen. We can't dump this stuff in the waters. It's going to kill the oceanic life, and it's going to eventually kill us. When you remember that nothing can come into your experience without your vibrational invitation of it. And when you remember that the varied behaviors of others adds to the balance and well-being of your planet, even if they offer behavior that you do not approve of, and that you do not have to participate in and will not unless you give your attention to it. So when we're looking at what those who do not love themselves are doing to the planet, we have to understand that we volunteered to be here, knowing what would be the circumstances that we would be in the midst of, knowing that we would need something to wake us up, knowing that we would need something to open our eyes, knowing that we would need something that would make us think outside of the box. So we have been encoded for this time. Some of us are more alert, and we are the way showers. And we throw the seeds. And we nourish We harvest, and we feed, and we do it all over again. What we recognize as time and what we understand as change has once again aligned itself cosmically. What is getting ready to happen is called Jubilee. In that Jubilee, you become free. And the first thing that is freed is your own identity of self, your own understanding that you are a much deeper being than what you have been led to believe. You have deeper ties to the earth and to the heavens than what you believe, what you've been told. How many of your churches told you that the horoscopes were evil, that was devil worship? But yet it's in Job and says, who among you can even understand or figure out or even imagine the Mazzaroth? We have a long way to go, but we are not alone. And we are moving ahead and being just where we need to be. So understand that rats have been cornered. Rats attack when they've been cornered. Some jump ship because there's no loyalty amongst rats. But there's always that diehard rat that, I gotta go down with the ship. So be it, if that's your choice. But everybody else wants peace. And that is what is expanding. The hearts, the energy, the resonance, the unity, the connections, the downloads reaching more and deeper. It's all beautiful. Okay, let me move forward. The next card is number 47. I'll envision the behavior I desire to inspire. If we were a parent or anyone wanting to inspire positive behavior from another, we would do our personal vibrational work first. We would align with our source energy by envisioning the outcome we seek, and by holding those involved as positive objects of our attention, we would not allow any current unwanted behavior to be the reason for our attention to them. So what I get from this, beloveds, again, and this is a repeating card as well, is we have to use our minds. We really have to use our minds, and we have to start connecting the energy that when we use our mind, it is connected to what we're thinking of. And what we're thinking of is actually going to take place. And the more we can identify with that and connect with that, the more things will start to change, the more things will start to evolve, the clearer things will become for you. And it is a rebalancing, beloveds. It's not juggling anymore. It's rebalancing. And if you're trying to balance too many things, then put something down. Take something out of that rotation. Is it really necessary? Or does it just satisfy a narcissistic need? That is that card. The next card is 28. There are many right ways for us to behave. I don't know if I showed that one or not. This was the one I just did, beloveds. Okay. And this is the next one. And I always love this card. Always love this one. And it's number 28, which is also a 10. There are many right ways for us to behave. It is possible to live upon this planet with large numbers of other beings who believe and behave in a variety of ways in peace. When you are able to focus in such a way as to allow your alignment with Source, even though others are choosing to behave differently than you are choosing, then you will truly be free from the bondage of attempting the impossible task of getting everyone to agree on one right way. One right way would lead to endedness. Many right ways allow eternal expansion. Thus, we have the saying, two heads are better than one, because you bring more insight, more inward sight, more outward sight, more ways to look at something, to view it. Allow the diversity of ways to speak, to see, and value them each as if they were your own. Not the doctor versus the shaman versus the witch doctor. I want all of them. Consult all of them. What does each one of them have to say? There's wisdom and value in each. One is not better than the other. They all serve. All are tools of healing. That is the truth. One way would lend to endedness. I'm being told, and this sounds even controversial to me a little bit because I have not pondered it and I'm just hearing it myself, but this is what I'm being told to think of what Moses did. Egypt had many gods, and the golden way of life wasn't over until Moses started the one religion, and then Rome, and what was his name? Alexander the Great, Constantinople, Council of at Nice. All of this took place and formed what we know now as Christendom. But in the beginning, it was something entirely different. And it's been hidden and everything, but everything done in the dark will come to the light. And this is what is coming to the light now. And people are having to adjust to the truth that they have been lied to. Next card, 55, which is also a 10. Everything is always working out for me. Nothing ever goes wrong because every piece of contrast, no matter how wrong it seems to be, is always helping you to clarify what it is you do want. And that is the thing that we want you to remember most of all. The contrast, no matter how it looks in any moment, is contributing mightily to your expansion. The things that, and beloveds, what they just showed me was the baking of a cake I used to bake these coffee cakes from scratch when I was with my foster mother, my foster parents, I'll put it that way. And it always called for vanilla. And my mother used to cook and all of this and all of that. And I'm like, you just put such a little bit of it in there, and I always wanted to put more. And when you put more, it messes up the flavor. But you just need a little bit of that vanilla extract, you know? And without it, that cake tastes totally different. But with it, the cake is on point. And it's on point because the alchemical composition of the ingredients were matched. It was aligned. The way it needed to cook was in alignment. The appreciation of it was in alignment. So it is enjoyed. It is pleasurable. And that is the contrast of not putting enough vanilla in there, or understanding what that vanilla is and why you need it. And understand that vanilla is a metaphor that I'm using right now, beloveds. The contrast, no matter how it looks in any moment, is contributing mightily to your expansion. The things that you call things going wrong in your life experience are actually only the distance between the things that are so right and your current perspective about them. Wow, okay, they're into the cooking thing right now. They just showed me pizza dough or dough, bread dough, with the yeast and it needing to rise and the different stages that it goes through and how interactive you have to be with it. And the product, the end result, is really based upon the work that you put in the preparation and the ingredients that you used, and the pots and the pans and so forth. Wow, okay, Mama, that was deep. The things that you call going wrong in your life experience are actually only the distance between the things that are so right and your current perspective about them. So, Mama is saying, in order for us to make changes in the things that we see, we have to change our perspective of them, which means we have to see them as they present themselves in truth. If somebody has a bad character, you don't lie and say, "Oh, they're nice. Yeah, I'll co-sign for you. Yeah, I'll do this for you. I'll do that." No, no, I'm sorry, I can't. I don't feel comfortable doing that, or I can't. Because you never know what putting that person in a position to hurt somebody or use somebody else, and that blood is tied to you. What they did is tied to you because you gave yeah, they're a good person, they're good. Yeah. When you know homie be kicking homie's butt, homie be stealing, homie be doing some of everything. What was that other card? We allow things. The contrast. So we need to understand not to indulge in behaviors that do not align with our truth. And that comes down to self-mastery, that comes down to self-love, that comes down to serving and saving your own self. It also comes with you honoring your ancestors and your highest self, because you are aligning with what is encoded in you. You are becoming. You are expanding. You are exploring deeper your connection with the divine within you and all around you. Let me move forward. The next card is number 18, relationships I don't want. Clarify those I do want. Whenever you know what you do not want, you always know more clearly what you do want. So, in any poignant moment of awareness of another person's undesirable situation, give your undivided attention to the idea of improvement that is hatched from your interaction and or observation. And as you learn to do that, not only will you be of increasing value to others, but you will see how your relationship with others adds immeasurably to your own becoming. So, beloveds, we often get stuck in our patterns of how we used to do things, of the being that we've known ourselves to be. And we need to understand that when we encounter these things that offer us this resistance, or resistance to the new self, or the new self becoming stronger, or becoming more dominant, or becoming more informed about who and what they are and what they want and what that purpose is, you have to let go. You have to concede. Because everything now that is going on within you is about the nurturance of this reborn individual, about the awakened individual. No longer about the sleeping one, no longer about that narcissistic baby. That's the narcissistic in you that wants you to do it how we've been doing it. The ego will tell you, no, I'll do it like this, we've been doing it like that, and what you doing? What you doing? No, we're not doing it like that. That don't serve us. It has not served us in 53 fucking years, okay? It's time to let that go. Insanity is keep doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting it to change. Ain't doing that no more. I am the one that's changing. Change, change, change. And this is going to cut out in a minute, so let me hurry up. Okay. And as you learn to do that, not only will you be of increasing value to others, but you will see how your relationship with others adds immeasurably to your own becoming. 11404. This next card is number 56, and I will try to show it. Here we go. If you seek financial well-being for yourself, you must praise it wherever you see it. If you would like more abundance for yourself personally or for others you care about, you must not criticize those who are experiencing abundance. When you criticize or condemn or push against anything, you activate an opposing vibration to what you seek every time, no exceptions. When you condemn, criticize, or push against anything, you activate an opposing vibration. No exceptions. we've got to familiarize ourselves with that concept. We have to keep telling ourselves that. If you need to write it somewhere, do what you need to do. This is how you repattern and retrain yourself, by focusing on things that work and put them in place so that you can get into the habit of them, of practicing them. 51. I can always enter my vibrational vortex of creation. The key to getting inside your vibrational vortex of creation, of experiencing the absolute absence of resistance, of achieving complete alignment with all that you have become and all that you desire, and of bringing to your physical experience anything that you desire, is being in the state of appreciation. And there is no more important object of attention to which you must flow your appreciation than that of self. And I'm moving forward now because time is short. 57. My true success is measured by my alignment. Alignment with Source, being inside your vortex of creation, becoming one with the true expanded version of you, is the ultimate selfishness. And yes, in that state of alignment, all good things must come to you. Every rocket of desire that you have launched will be fulfilled. True success is not the attainment of things, the achievement of tasks, or the achievement of financial abundance. True success is the coming into alignment with you. Yes, selfishly aligning with your desires, your clarity, your confidence, your knowledge, your love with yourself. The next one is card number 2. That which is like unto itself is drawn. Everything that you perceive is vibration, and the life you are living is your vibrational interpretation. The powerful law of attraction is at the root of everything you experience, and the never-changing, always accurate premise of this law is that which is like unto itself is drawn. When you give thought to something, you begin the attraction process of the essence of that subject into your life experience. Once you have activated a thought vibration within yourself by giving attention to the subject, the progression of expansion occurs. Now, what I have been working on is knowing thyself, okay? And using the law of attraction to bring that knowledge, bring that way, bring that will, bring that wisdom to me. And I can actually say that once that thought was processed and activated, that they use the word activated here, I'm observing the progress and the evolution take place. So that card is very truthful. 43, which is a 7. Why do I want the relationship I want? Think about what you want in a relationship and why you want it. Look for those around you who are experiencing good relationships and feel appreciation for them. Make lists of the positive aspects of those good feeling relationships you have spent time with. In fact, one of the fastest ways to make your way to a wonderful relationship is to find any subject that consistently feels good, even if it has nothing to do with relationships, and focus on that. So again, it is about focusing, beloveds. Focusing, focusing, focusing. And identifying what is a positive, what makes a positive relationship for you. What are your truths that make it? 22, beneficial beliefs feel better when I think about them. There are things in your environment that you believe that match what you want. And there are all kinds of things in your environment that you believe that defy what you want. How would you ever sort them out? How do you know the active beliefs within you that serve you well and the active beliefs that do not serve you? How do you know the beneficial beliefs from the detrimental ones? The beneficial beliefs feel better when you think them. The detrimental ones feel worse when you think them. I don't need to elaborate on that. 20. Flawed premises can attract true unwanted evidence. If you were to hear a false premise again and again, until you yourself begin to believe and repeat it, now your own activation of the contradictory vibration would interfere with your sense of intelligence, and you would begin to attract evidence of your belief, in effect proving the false premise to be true. And so it becomes increasingly hard for you to call this a false premise when the evidence seems to be telling you that it is true. For over time, you come to believe it is true. So, beloveds, when you see something and you identify it as being false, do not indulge it. Do not keep indulging it. Self-mastery requires you to make a choice whether how you're going to deal with that, right, with that false premise, or it's going to keep dragging you into it simply because of the contradictory vibration. And if you don't want it, that's what you're going to keep attracting, because that's what where your attention keeps going. And you're trying to figure it out, and it's not about figuring it out. It's about just let it go. Some things aren't to be figured out. And this tells you what to do. You judge on how it makes you feel, whether you're going to hold on to it or not. And if you keep believing that, oh, it'll get better, well, it's this and it's that and it's that and it's this, and you keep making excuses for it, you're not dealing with it. You're allowing that false premise to become a truth. You're co-signing it. You're supporting it. You're putting up with it. You've compromised with it, rather than say, that's a lie. And that is that card. And this last card is 40, which is a 4. I intend to co-create from my place of positive attraction. And this is that card. And I'm sorry if I haven't showed the rest, but my time is leaving and the camera is light. And excuse us. The individual creators who are coming together must be in a place of positive attraction before they come together, or nothing positive can come out of the co-creation. Did you hear that, beloveds? You have to have communication. You have to have balance. You have to be on the same page. That current has to fit it. That plug has to fit into that socket. Okay? That's just like in Detroit, I had this huge air conditioner that my son's father had gotten me. And every time I would try to plug that sucker up in my house, it would take all the lights out, because it drew too much energy. It needed too much. My house it was an old house, I guess, and it wasn't prepared for the amount of energy that this air conditioning unit required. And so it took energy from everything else. And you have to realize that this is what we're doing. That when we are not aligned with our partner, we can overwhelm them, or we can underwhelm them. Either way, if you're going to be in a relationship that is responsibly mature to yourself, then that means you're going to have your needs met, or at least they're out on the table where they can be discussed, and you can reach a compromise. But if you never reach a compromise on that particular issue, it is always going to be there, and it's always going to come up, and it's going to always be uncomfortable. So deal with it. And if you are negatively focused on not feeling good, you can only attract others who are in the same state of negative attraction. So if you are still in that mode of finding yourself and not truly knowing what it is you want from a mate, that's what you're going to attract. You're going to attract another being who doesn't really know what they want in a relationship and doesn't really know themselves fully, because they don't know what they want in a relationship, but yet they want the relationship. Because society says you have to be in a relationship to be normal. The first relationship we have is with ourselves. And that relationship has to be aligned. You can't tell yourself all these lies and have all these things that when you ready to get into a relationship with someone else doesn't align up. It's going to come out sooner or later. So be truthful. When you put your stuff on the table, put your stuff on the table. They'll either accept it, deal with it, or choose not to. Roll with it. It's about you. That is what these cards are saying. It's not about somebody who rejected you, can't see you, or you just find yourself in this chaotic space with. It's because you're making excuses for yourself and for that person. So, love yourself enough to do what's right for yourself. Understand that you cannot change another being. And you cannot change other people. You can only change yourself. And the best thing we can do is have a relationship with Source, because that is how we align everything. That is the foundation that everything is measured on and against and weighed. It should be on your relationship with Source. And that relationship will be different with each of us because we are diverse. So don't expect your relationship with Source to be the same as someone else's. Don't expect your values and your views to be the same as others, because we were created to be diverse expressions. Okay, that is going to do it. Namaste, and thank you so much. I love us all, beloveds, and this is just a wonderful time to be here, to be alive, you know? And it really is. There are times when I wake up and turn over and be like, oh, I don't want to get up. All this stupid shit is going on. Oh, no. But there are other parts of me that look at this and say, wow, history is being made today. And I'm here, and I'm part of it. And I'm doing my part. And when I come back, I can look back at this and say, The God in me did that. The God in me did that. Let the God in you do some things out here and inside of you. Activate that God self. Align yourself with it. Okay, that's it, beloveds. That's all I have right now for this. Anyway.